Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Vertiginous Golf. Man, I cannot pronounce that word. Is that a real word? I guess it means vertical golf. Or something that creates vertigo, perhaps?
There had always been smog in the lowland. That was the first thought by King Leopold of an enterprising reason to use my synticity-propelled machine and leave the smoky city of Scudburough. However, I thought that we would all rise together. When it became obvious that only the wealthy, prosperous and seemingly progressive would find a way into the highland, above all the man-made catastrophe of industrial pollution, not so ironically created by those who now happily hover above it.
Darn it, a little weak. Oh man, right on the edge. Let's just go ahead and hope this hits it.
Now, new Lun-Donne lays down only to see a dirt blanket of destitution, where not even one solitary light can pierce and shine through, showing to the gentry the moribund lives of the lost and never were. They have, we have, all but disowned. Only Verti-Golf gives them a sense of release, freedom and individuality, as they send themselves here to the Vertiginous Sphere for a few hours of escapism.
I guess we're going inside this building and upward and onward. Trying to see where the next thing is. This is closed. This is closed. There's water everywhere. Chip it in if you've got it. And see, clearly this whole area is designed to be bird friendly. Let's see, can you fly through this? Ah, yeah, you can. Interesting. However, that's found a way to put me. I cannot see where I'm supposed to be. Let's see. It's over there.
Today, their avatars have more of an understanding of art, literature, travel, sports, and living a fulfilling life than those Highlanders who control them. Whether it is through osmosis or simple repetition, I believe by psych-sending the Scuds will become educated and hopefully will gain new skills that open their mind to new possibilities.
So this guy is regretting working for the bad guy, King Leopold, as it were, and he's trying to empower this subgroup of people that he is disenfranchised. Let's see if this works. Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah, barely missed it.
My one true hope is that what momentarily imprisons them will be what gives them the skills and confidence to escape their social chains and fly to a better state of being. My creation is tearing down society bit by bit. My creation is destroying me from the inside out. Change isn't needed, it's mandatory.
And so much for rewinding. And this is all on the green, so you can't putt anything. I got a better putter but it doesn't seem to really mean anything. It seems just like I changed the skin on it to a better looking putter. If it is adding any like ability or skill to my strokes, it's very small. There we go. Now we're close to the end. Let's see, I just kind of want to finish the story and introductory here and see if there's... I have noticed that if you just played these levels without the records, you probably could do a lot better.
Nothing but news abhorrent and regressive. We, the above, are in a state of emergency, shock and disbelief. As in the last hours, reports are coming in that the murder of inventor Marcus Fredrickson played out in these early hours. Inventor Fredrickson was supposed to be a guest on this very program today, to speak aloud of his invention, the floatilator, that would rival syntheticity as a cheap, renewable and environmentally sound way of keeping new Lun-Donne afloat. Rumours that Scudborough's problematic e-weather can be traced to quantum electricity discharged from Froelich syndicator are still abound, even though they have been met with denial after denial. Therefore, Fredrickson's invention is sorely needed. But again, I can only emphasise, this is rumour-mongering at its most poisonous.
So, the floating city is also hurting itself, it seems.
It has also been noted from the highest governmental offices in the Highland that the belief is that the middlemen are behind this nefarious yet cowardly act of cold-blooded murder. But we await an official statement from King Leopold at this time. However, in the meantime, we give you our regular programming of Auntie Explains It All.
I am the striker, hear my scream. We of the middlemen nobly lift our heads to the sky, and with mouths open wide and proud, we call out in protest, loud and shrill, so you hear it above all falsehoods and lies. We are not responsible for the heinous act of taking Fredrickson's life. We are but merely patsies in the secret war between high and low, rich and poor, capitalism and the proletariat. New Lun-Donne and Scudburough. Make no mistake, this is the Highland versus the Lowland, and nothing more, nothing less. And they, upon the high, are painting over our good name with the blood of the fallen. We are here to stitch the cities back together, not to sever the continuously fraying ties that are left.
I don't know how you would do this dialogue better. Probably what you should do is have the holes all be a little bit shorter, like there was 3 or 4 records in that hole. So cut the holes into 4 different holes. Play one bit of volume at the beginning of each hole.
A source of entertainment
without having to land anywhere.
Heroes and villains, hoping that the story is black and white and easy to follow. But no, real life is heavy with grey. Marcus Fredrickson was my friend, not rival, no enemy. Even that very morn of his passing, he brought with his invention, for it did not work and it had something missing. And even though he was a fine scientist, he could not put his finger on what refused to allow the machine to be. And as he was a gentleman, scholar and fine friend, I promised to help. But that is past, as is he. And I must look into the dark and dimly lit future. For is that not where we are heading, whether we like it or not?
What is this? I don't know what these orbs are about. So they might be like points. There might be an ability to gain more points by hitting them. Let's instead go over here. And then go over there and like what happened there? I was just trying to tap it and it didn't want to tap.
For up above the nit and the grit, above the lies we put under a microscope and analyse relentlessly, we can see a bigger picture. A blanket of clouds can be seen as an off-white shield, a barrier between me and my real-world responsibilities. Or it can be a lazy place to lay my metaphysical head and let my thoughts wander to a simpler time.
You see, these balls just kind of bounce off of them, so I guess there's nothing super special about them.
I met my wife in college, and from there we never parted. And even though she was more than happy to be married to a scientist locked in a lab daily, she's managed to be the other half, much better half. I have to admit, of a celebrity, how this happened, neither of us could foretell or retrospectively know.
And see, I'm trying to see if maybe you could hit in there, but I guess you can't. I was thinking maybe there was a trick. I'd kind of like if the story was in a adventure mode where you went through all the levels and there were just some secret places where you rolled over records as you see them and it told you the backstory. So there's this whole hidden backstory that you could easily miss.
But sometimes you can raise your hopes too high and miss the finer details. And like a god with butterfingers,
it stops you
I've
every
lost
time
hold
you
of my
land
own
on a
personal
record,
path,
which
and I don't know
really
what the next
ruins the
steps could be.
gameplay.
But I must take one, come hell or high water.
It's good voice acting, and it's decent writing for a game that's about golfing. I mean, I would much rather play this than a golf game where it's like PGA commentators just telling you what's going on.
My work has become also encompassing. I feel handcuffed to the syndicator, like I'm chained to an animal with its own needs. And as it feeds upon its own notoriety, I feel undernourished. I wish my hardened morality and concrete confidence that saw me create a new form of society was still in me, for I do not see a way out. It is like I am in an unlit room with a one-sided mirror, and the whole of the Highland and Lowland are looking at me for what comes next. But I am here with the beast I created and it's feeding time. And for the moment, that is all that matters.
You are all slowly being transformed. Have you not wondered why your stomach churns in the morning and your eyes glow at dusk?
Where are we headed to now? Like, so I gotta get this free shot, I hope. Ah! I missed it. And now it's locked. And no rewinding for that. It wants me to go way up there. Wow. I can't believe that worked.
Today is a day of black and bitter darkness. The news I have for our two cities will disgust and bewilder in equal measure. But please do not go fearful into your day after I tell all that has transpired. At precisely 2300 hours, only yesternight, at what can only now be described as bewitched hour, our good Lord Frolich, esteemed inventor and saintly scientist who reached for the clouds and placed the chosen ones graciously there, was seized and shanghaied from his stately home in New Lun-Donne. The middlemen are the miscreants guilty of this appalling act, and are asking for 1,000,000 coins or they will put out Frohlich's flame, as they did with Fredrickson.
That'd be interesting if somehow you get 1,000,000 coins out of this.
No, no, and vehemently no. We are not the protagonists to blame for this scandalous play of fakery and theatrics. We are innocent of kidnap, and we do not want change from pockets, but change in hearts. Must we bellow from the houses our innocence? Or shall we leave it to the hoity-toities to stick their boot heels upon the hoi polloi and grind them to mere dust, before it is proven how much they control your every move, giving you thoughts that finish with decisions you would never have if you were left untouched by their crooked third eye?
And see, this is, of course, the danger of any situation like this. It is very easy for these existing people in charge to do a false flag action like this, which is what they're claiming. And, wow, I really screwed that up. Blame and demonize a resistance group. Of course, it is also very possible that they're lying, but if they were lying, then the claim of wanting 1,000,000 coins becomes evidence against them lying.
In our new audio-sode of Auntie Explains It All, we will be looking at the rising popularity of Vertiginous Golf, where it sprung from and how it came to be. When e-inventor and quantum electrical scientist Lord Frohlich harnessed the power of quantum electricity, we became the first civilization in human history to master our destiny and take to the skies. New Lun-Donne, the highland, was lifted away, and when we have the resources and power, Scudburough will follow.
So, lots of promises.
Our fellow Scud brothers and sisters have a bigger problem with which to contend: pollution. A mass of thick, black smog always had a chokehold on their fair city, and until we solve the problem with e-science, we cannot risk bringing them to us without the possibility of New Lun-Donne being contaminated.
See, and even the audio here is being laid out in such a way that they're expecting me to be able to hit each one of these before the next one's done.
And taste daily what we have, and what will also sit in their lap one day.
And still question
Using
whether
quantum sourcing,
any of this is
we
real.
create an AI psych formatted to the player that can be transported to Vertiginous Golf, and they can play their hearts out as if it were real.
Artificial
Once
intelligence.
Vertigolf was an
player.
elite sport, but now even the lowly can
Deceiver. If the truth were to try leave your lips, I think they would chap, crack, and fall like the dust upon crypt from your lying mouth. There are no intentions for the highland to lift the lowland and become a happy ever after family of the earth. This is false propaganda to keep Scudburough forever in the hope of something that will never be, never become. To keep Scudburough on the very razor's edge of tomorrow, but never having the chance to hold their breath and be able to jump off the precipice into the new. It is not a fallacy but fact that the dirt, dust and grime that lays upon the lowland like black ink oxygen is from Frohlich's sin, the Syndicator, the eighth marvel of the world, yet the most deadly. It spits and vomits out poison so that new Lun-Donne can keep in the style of life they are accustomed to, and that is away from the pain and pressure of every day of what they have done to the lowland. Mark my words and mark them well. New Lun-Donne will become undone, for be ready forthwith, as the shrike will strike. Over, but not yet out, we leave you with our rhythmical thoughts of tech poetic, the real words of the disillusioned underclass, to a not so good and not so great nation. Lord of the fog, you create a curtain. Where number one dare lift, so the low stay low, and the high get high, on their mile-high drift.
This is gonna be a tough one. That's nearly impossible. Like a nearly impossible shot. Like, how many strokes am I gonna add to this? Come over here, chip into this, use the influence, try to get this in the middle, chip down to this, and like, it's like the ninja wall. You go too high, you hit something. The American Warrior, what is it called in Japanese? Something castle. Like, you just can't do it. Powerhouse this. And then influence it, I guess.
Today is another day of the two lands in opposition. The low continue to live up to their misnomer as they have begun to dismantle, ramshack and graffiti our finely tuned anshacks, where I, your gracious host, am mostly heard. In Scudburough, it is as if they are a law unto themselves. We of New Lun-Donne have given them so much, and they act like hounds, biting the master's hand that feeds.
Wow, I can't believe I made that. Cannot believe I made that. And maybe that will be it, or maybe there's one more hole that will give us some more backstory. Like, it seems like we're not just getting backstory now, we're getting the whole story, which tells me that the rest of the
your heart, or would you not
game
flinch
has
to the truth
no
that
story.
Auntie Anne is not real? I sit here with her, no, it. Wires cut in two, cables tied tight, and plug forever dismantled. I may be a lady, but I am not ladylike. I know my way around a weapon, and I have severed the link between us and this dystopia with a swift flick of the wrist and a razor-sharp blade. Think of it as a nightmare we have finally awoken from. It is now voiceless, therefore purposeless, and can never tell us what is untrue again. Auntie Anne may not be real.
Like, so Kingfisher sounds way too much like Auntie Anne, and unless that plays a role in the story, it feels like they had only one female that they could use for a female voice, and frankly, that maybe there's only two people that worked on this game, a male voice and who's playing both the scientist and the Shrike.
However, I am very real. I breathe, I bleed, I hope, I dream. I am the Kingfisher, leader of the middlemen. But that is not truly my reality. Like so many others, I have hidden beneath a cloud of disinformation and mystery. I am Lady Adriana Frolich. I am my husband's wife, Vigi and Centicity's father, Lord Frolich, and he is mine. So no, he is not in harm's way, and he is certainly not in our clutches, but instead our company, safely hidden from the clutches of King Leopold. Today is a day like no other, as it is a beginning,
it's not
and
letting me
beginnings
play
only
for a
come
while.
once or twice in a lifetime. So mark down on the calendar now where you are, who you are with, and how you feel, so you can remember in secula seculorum, for all eternity, where you were when we saw the liberation of Scudburough. This is the liberation of the lowland. This is the ascension of Scudburough. Hold on to your hats, people, and look to the skies. But praise not yet. There is a spanner in the works, a rooster in the hen house, a cuckoo in the nest. My dear, poor patrons of Scudburough, heed my words. We cannot lift alone. We cannot carry the burden of the rise of the lowland alone. We, the middlemen, are in the highland, so all we can give is guidance, support, and, dare say, our love. But we cannot be there in body to achieve this, oh so important goal that has come to us. One or all,
You just can't
2
play
or 20, whomever
until
must find the sin
they
engine
start
hidden
playing
in the
the
lowland
latest
and take to it,
volume.
whether it be over or under, until the glitch that is holding back can be found and fixed.
And this sounds more like politics.
We need your help,
Just
your courage,
someone from the
your
Highlands
action,
getting rid of the
your
king.
support in true, concrete
This seems like a
physicality.
scheme
There is no
for a
time to
coup.
sleep. Awaken, Scudburough. Awaken from your
Or
slumber in
overthrowing
the
the
smog
king.
and turn to the sun, and imagine what that will be.
Or also, this might just be completely a trick to make the lowland people
Scud brothers and Scud sisters solve
show
our
disloyalty.
crippling quandary, our puzzling predicament, our dark dilemma, and then, and only then, we can be as one. Wishing you all luck. This is the voice of the Kingfisher. Over, and hopefully not for the last time. Out.
Darn it. Wow. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. There's not enough establishing story for something like this. Like, you could have easily gone through the tutorial and the first couple holes and not even begun to suggest that there was anything wrong with society and just given some basic backstory of the world.
Eyes wide, see the signs, my dear comrades in arms. Look for somewhere out of bounds, hidden away, a place seemingly dangerous to the naked eye. A locked door, a barred window, a dark alleyway, and make that engine start. For with an overabundance of simplicity, but with none of the made-to-move parts in motion, overload is inevitable, and Scudburough's destruction will be a reality that cannot be regressed. I mean not to make you fearful of this urgency, but you must know what we are up against and how. Without the engine working, the odds are beginning to stack up against us.
And, of course, there's just this here. So that's really your only choice.
My Scudburough family, awaken. Awaken. Listen. Look. And above all, think. Action must be taken. Do not crawl, stroll, or traipse. Now is not the time for a city to ride. Run, run, run to a possible place you have heard rumors of where the sin engine resides. for I know there are tales abound about this mysterious invention, but they are far from being the fairy tales of old. It is truth tenfold. The engine is the final part of the jigsaw.
Why does music
really
play
fed
right
in
here?
Simplicity, it will power you to the skies. So, can you hear it? Open your ears as well as your mind, for the engine will be the beating heart of the city, and its power needs to be unleashed so the simplicity can flow into the engine like a river into the sea. Where, my dearest citizens, you have had enough time in the dark, it's time to see the sun.
See,
So, where is it?
it feels like
Reason, deduce, then take action.
the music
and
is the
find
hint.
a final obstacle that is stopping you from joining your new brethren.
That being said, we've gone down really far, and the controls don't run perfectly well. I don't know if there's any buttons or anything that would really make sense. And why do I have a gun now? Seriously? Okay. This is crazy. Let's go a little bit further and then we'll see if there's another 30 minutes in here. And apparently it took 3 hits. Let's book it. This is some real insanity for a game that's about golf. Like, clearly there's a division between a story they wanted to tell and a game they were able to create. And apparently the game they were able to create was golf, and the story they wanted to tell was at least the beginnings of a rather interesting AAA game. And if you think about it, if I was running and gunning and shooting enemies and going around several different levels and platforming with this story, it would make way more sense. But playing golf and getting records, that's just kind of out of nowhere. I feel like I'm going to get the credits, and I thought there was a Revolution part, but maybe I connected into the next group and played Revolution. I don't know.
What was before matters no more, swimming in the black of nothing. Infinity is stopped like a broken carriage clock.
It still looks
Suddenly
pretty
a white
bad, but
flash
it's
of
better.
something.
It's pretty low polygon.
Arise with tight eyes, begin to open wide.
And you have to
Follow
kind
the
of
red
face.
breast of the robin. Now what lies on the horizon is what next you can begin in, thanks to the brave red robin.
And the anti-ant is destroyed. And we've saved the day by picking up things and throwing things. And like, it doesn't really feel like, oh, there's a money multiplier apparently now. So if I buy this, it increases your money. Alright. And if I buy this, increases your money. So you slowly get more money to purchase things. And that seems like kind of all it does. And then over here, if I purchase, say, another face, it doesn't increase your money, so clearly the better logic is to have all of these things unlocked at the end of gameplay, not at the beginning. And you can go a pants or a skirt with stockings. This feels like you probably wouldn't get into too much trouble with any of this clothing. It seems designed that way to be inoffensive, which seems kind of odd that you would have a game with a story like this and yet you wouldn't be willing to take some risks. And all it seems like it's really done is changed this part. And you're up to this point. And revolution, hole 1 of 4 par. The 2 cities in the middle ground play. And so reunion, let's just play it for a second and make sure.
Of all of those to rise to the challenge and bring us together, was it not there in my soul all along? The truth peering out, smiling, holding my hand, supporting my sweating brow to her chest. Was it not obvious that it would be someone as courageous as my wife? In my heart of heart, was it not there to be seen by all?
So there is some more to do, and we'll do it next time, I guess. Very odd game, really. Very odd mix of 2 elements. But we'll talk about it more next time. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.